This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so chalo, let's start discussion. So we started discussing, loops, and we have done with while loop, and also we had a very good discussion yesterday about for loop, and we discussed like how far is useful for us and how can we apply that on collections in yesterday's session. And now yesterday also we have discussed about strings. We had introduced to strings and then we have discussed like the indexing part of string, the both positive and negative indexing, and we had seen how to slice strings, and also we have seen few methods of or functions of string, like how to work with string, and we have done a couple of programs on strings also yesterday. Like we have completely created a function of ourselves how to find length of a string. That is one thing. Also, we had seen how to reverse a string. There is also one more program we have done yesterday. But anyhow, it's fine. So far, I think whatever we have done, so these are all simple and easy to understand. Even Python, the whole Python itself is easy for us. That's what we are discussing from day one. And apart from that, the next thing is coming back to the string. Okay, let me have a quick introduction because if anybody has missed, maybe it might be helpful to you, like a quick backup. One thing you remember about strings is in Python, any data structure, string is a data structure or a collection, and it has indexing like like this. It has a positive indexing starting from 0 to n minus 1, and a negative indexing starting from right to left, and that is from minus 1 to minus 8. That is minus 1 to minus n. That's how it goes. Okay, so that is about this one. And then you need to understand this, folks. Whenever we are talking about string, understanding this is important. This indexing part is very useful to you because based on that you do slicing, and you do usually slice operator is very handy for us. It's very useful, and it come to rescue us in different situations. 1 minute, guys. Here, people are coming. Just a minute, okay? Okay. Sorry, guys. Let's continue. And we had discussed about the slicing yesterday, and of course, as I told you, all these complete recorded sessions are there in our channel. But the only difference is when you attend session, so that at least you can concentrate more. If you think video is there, of course video will be there. It is helpful, but we don't know how much we can go through video because it needs a lot of motivation. Okay, yesterday I was talking about this. So, as right now, still we didn't discuss our built-in functions, our function topic, how to create our own functions. So, okay, but we had discussed, like when you talk about all this predefined or built-in classes like string, like list, collections, all that. We'll talk about collections today. These built-in functions, we have two types of built-in functions. Generally, any class has some kind of built-in functions from the API. This API, whatever it provides, these built-in functions, We have two types again. We can categorize them into two types. One is general purpose functions and the functions from the direct class itself. Now, API means nothing but all the predefined or existing functions, existing classes, existing data types given by the that particular language people itself, like Python. Python community will provide all that to you. You don't need to worry too much about it. Like if you order a breakfast, you get chutney, or you get sambar, or you get, because I'm a South Indian, so I'm talking about it. Okay, or you get that all that automatically, right? Like that only. So same thing here also. That is the point here. Now coming back to this, you got it right. We have two types of functions. As I told you, all these were given by the Python community itself. But only thing is, you should know how to apply it. That's what I told you in the beginning, and even yesterday also we had this point. So length is one function which is quite commonly used throughout your this thing project or something, because you deal with collection or you deal with string. So finding length is the quite common frequent operation we perform on strings. Okay. So anyhow, we had a discussion about all this. Length returns length of string. We know that. And we had also written a customized code for length. We had yesterday discussed how to use built-in length function, predefined one. It's very easy. Just pass the string to the length function. It's enough. And how to create our own length. Like we have written a code. Probably I didn't copy and paste. If it is there still, then I'll just copy paste it. Somewhere it should be there. Yesterday, yes, this is the finding length function and also reversing a string code. Might be I'll just put it in the material part. And somebody is asking material. This material is there in my GitHub. Nowadays people are using GitHub, right? So this is there in my GitHub. Not only this Python, data science materials are there, and also Java material is there. All different materials are there, so that you can go and get it from there. Okay. I'll just give you the GitHub that account name, so that so this is reversing a this thing. So you can take this material from my account. Okay. Somebody is asking me. So what you do is just say GitHub, right? All of you have idea about it nowadays. It acts as a repository, or even for version controlling. Even in software, we use this. GitHub is one of the most used okay, versioning tool also. And then you can just say Manohar Papasani 123, and here this is my account, and click on Python, and in that, under that Python, you have all this data science.txt, and this Python material.txt. You can just get both of these. If you want, you can take other also, because it is public and you can have others. But how far it is useful, I don't know, because without having an idea, if you take them, I'm not sure how it is useful, but it's your choice. I don't have an issue. But for our Python, these two are important. Python materials. You don't need all this Python day one, day two. But still, if you are interested, and if you want to see more information, you can take all that also. So Python material.txt. These were useful. For now, these were my. I am using this. Of course, this material part gets updated. Depends on session by session. It won't be the same. I keep on adding content to this. I keep on adding new programs. Okay, new problems, all that to this. Okay, but still that is useful. After that, next one is fine, right? We had done till this point. Copy means copying one string to other string. There are different ways of copying. Okay, so let's just have a quick idea like how you can copy. Copying is not just applicable only for a string. It is not. It can be applied for any type, even for normal, data types. Any type we can apply copying. Okay, so let's see how to do this copy. So generally, it's a easy way. You can open your prompt, and you can just quickly try this. So one is I'm just giving you the basic version. Right now I'm not using functions. Later on we'll go to the functions and talk about it. So one thing is, suppose I say I have a string like this, some string, I'll take it as some Python, okay? And that is S. Say S1 equal to S. Now print S1. S1 is also giving me Python. This is one way of copy. Okay. Two references are there for one value. We'll talk about it. What is this reference? All that we are going to talk about it. But this is one way. There is another way. There are two types of copying. One is deep copy and shallow copy. That I think when I move to the collections topic, definitely I'll explain a clear difference between a deep copy and a shallow copy. But for now, just have an idea so that whatever you need to know, I'll be giving explanation on that. So nothing to worry about it. Okay. So this is one thing. Okay. This is simple way of copying. I don't want like this. I want to write a code for this. What I need is I need a code program, my own program, not built in, depend on built-in functions. And how do you do this copying? What is the way of doing copying a string? Already you know string has index, you know how to, or you can use loop and you can extract each character from the string. Once you extract each character, what you can do? You can do the concatenation of character and finally you can bring one string. But I didn't teach you all this. So what we do is, anyhow, I think yes, what I do is, first let me discuss all the other fundamentals which are necessary for you. Later on, I'll come back to the copy function, how to implement this copy function. Okay. So is it fine, right, folks? So let's get into the. And next thing is, okay, we'll come back to the copy. I'll make you to work on this. Another important point about string is immutable. Not just string, almost all the data types in Python are immutable. When I say immutable, you ask me a question because for many of you, this is something new. Somebody who is from Java might have some idea about immutability. String immutability is there. Even wrapper classes are immutable in Java. That is it. That is fine. But for those who are from Java, but we are not from that. We are laymen. Suppose I don't know anything about immutability. Then what we should understand it. Okay, immutability means it doesn't change. Then you might ask me a question like, it doesn't change in sense. So you got the point, right? I had just made it clear. What is immutable? Which don't change. So now, what now? Now, I'll just make a point here. Immutable means what? Doesn't change. Then we'll cross check and verify what is that doesn't change here, and we'll understand in depth about this one. Okay. Please mute your machines, okay? Because we are recording this. Might be okay. Doesn't change. Your value doesn't change. That's what immutability is. Okay. Let's check it. Suppose I come here. I'm using prompt again. Clearing the screen. You know how to clear screen, right? You can also use this idle also. Idle has both that is interactive mode is there in idle and batch mode. Both are there in idle. But anyhow, S equal to something like taking Manohar. This is string 1. Now I am modifying it. S equal to again I am taking Vida 3. Okay. Then print S. This time did I get any error when I modify it? Then it got modified. Then I told you we cannot change it. No. Yeah, point is it's not about like here. It's not about initialization. We are not talking about initializing value here. When you reinitialize, it will accept that new value unless it is final. Final concept is there in Java, or it is there in C sharp, I hope, not in Python. Okay. Then the point is, what is that? Then I told you just now. I told you we cannot change it. Now you have a lot of questions running in your mind. Tare Jamin Par happens now. So many questions running in your mind. So point is simple. How this immutability works in these kind of languages. Even this is there in Java. In Java also, when you try to modify string, it gets modified. Okay, leave that Java aside. That's not our area. Then how this works, let's understand. I'll explain a small example. I'm taking a paint here. Suppose here, if you look at this gentleman, what is that? I'm taking a string first. This is S. Initially, I'll do one thing. I had declared a string. My string is Manohar. Okay, that is fine. Now what happens? How this memory allocation happens to this? It's an object or it's a data type, whatever it is. For any kind of declaration, memory has to be allocated here. Yes or no? So what is the point now? For this, memory is allocated where in RAM. So now an object is created for Manohar, and that string is put into that object. This has some address internally. That address might be, you can take it as 100, just for understanding. I'm not sure if it is 100, just an idea. Might be in memory, it might be different. So assume it is 100. This 100 is put into this S. This is actually a reference variable. It holds the address of this object. Now, when I just do this declaration, this is what happens. What happens? An object for this string is created, and that object has some address, and it has some reference. Of course, any declaration has a reference. All data types has some reference. That variable name is reference here. That reference variable has this object, address of this object. Simple, right? Now, second time what I am doing, are you clear to till this point? Are you clear or not? Second point. Okay. Second time what I did is I modified my string. I say s equal to Vidatri. I am using same string, right? Then this time, this you might think that this Manohar is replaced with Vidatri. That is what the general assumption is. But it is not like that. That is not the case. Manohar is not replaced with Vidatri. That object is kept intact. It is not modified. It is not replaced. It will be like that. Now what happens? A new object is created. Means your old object is never touched. It will be like that. So this time one more new object is created, and that new object is kept into this, which one? In that new object, this string is placed. So now Vidatri exists here. Where it existed, it will come here. Of course, it will have one more new address. Assume that it is 101. Now S will be pointing to what? Which address? Is it 100 or 101? 101. Means address get replaced here. Which gets replaced? Address. I will prove this. You don't believe me? What is happening in memory? You cannot go into RAM and check. We are not Ant-Man, right? To get into the RAM, possible. You cannot become a nanoparticle now. So what we have to do? We have to prove this programmatically only. That is only our choice. Got it, right? So what is replaced here? Address is replaced. Does object getting modified? Yes or no? Obviously it's not getting modified. Then you ask me a question. Okay, sir, This is very clear for us. But what proof is there? What guarantee is there for us that whatever you are trying to teach us is correct? Let me show you then. See, there is a way for everything to prove in programming. So suppose you take Manohar again one more time. I didn't teach you this so far, but it is not difficult. When you declare any variable, it has an address, it has a data type, it has a value. Yes or no? Any variable has what? Address, data type, value. If I ask this question, how do you find data type of any variable? Everybody in the classroom answer me that it is type. Use type functions. How do I get address of object? Then use ID. Which function should we use here? ID. ID of what should I use here? Then I got some address or not? Can you see the address of my string here? Yes or no? This is the address of my object. And this address is there quite for every data type in Python, not just only for string. Because in Python, everything is an object, even your data types. Okay. Suppose you go to Java and try to get the address of any primitive data type. You declare int x equal to 10. Try to get me address of x. You can get the reference or address of objects in Java, but not primitives. But in Python, that is not the case. To prove one point that everything in Python is an object. Remember this. If you don't know what is that, we'll talk on that. There is a time come for everything. But remember, so you got the point, right? This is first one. So now you see, I declared Manohar. Manohar has some address. I'm declaring second string. I'm replacing it. As you have, observed in the diagram, if you try to create a reassign new value, what happens? New object is created. Old object is kept like that. Proof is if we are using old object, we get the same address. If value get replaced, do we get 100 or 101? We get 100, not 101. Got it right? But if it is immutable, means if you cannot change object, new object is created. Means what? Then you can see a new address now. Let's check that. So s equal to, I'm taking Vidatri here. Okay. Then ID of s. Okay. Can you see any difference in the address now? And this is actually more than enough to understand that string is immutable. Proved, right? This is a proof for us. When you modify string, you are getting a new object. Old object is not modified. Means the point is very clear. What is that point? Here, your object is never changed. But what is changed? Address is modified. So immutability means not allowing value to change. What do you mean? Usually people expect, like when I reinitialize, they expect an error. But actually, change, this is all working where at memory, not at the program level, this level. Got it right?
These objects can't be deleted.
Which one?
Any object.
Python has a automatic garbage collection. Now what happens is, see here, when I reinitialized that s with Vidatri, this object no more has any external reference. That reference to that Manohar is gone. It's like marrying to second marriage. When you marry for second time, first marriage, what happens? Divorce means what? Permanently deleted from your life, right? Same thing. That is what here. When you reinitialize, I'm just only trying to make you understand quickly, that's all. Don't take my examples. Okay. If it is offending everyone, I am really sorry. Okay. Is it clear, right?
When we are
Okay.
referencing again.
Okay. Right? Is it clear or not now?
Then what is the use of giving new address? It's better to replace now. Whether it will go to garbage only.
Yes, that's fine. That is a good question. Point is simple. Let me give you a use case now, as you are asking questions. Some of our offline people are asking me a question. How this is useful, sir? If you are not allowing to replace, is it consuming more memory or not? See, when you talk about strings, the most used data type in your languages, not only in this Python. You go to Java, you go to C Sharp, you go to C, C++. Most of the data is a string type of data in real time. Suppose you look at a file, if that file might have 1 lakh records, in that majority of the data is string type only. I am giving you with experience, I am telling this. If you are new to this, then try to remember this point. Most of the time we get data in what format? String format, because the data in the files is always string type only. Of course, you have to convert it if you want to make it integer. Suppose phone number is there. And if you want to make it integer, do casting. You have idea about casting, right? We can do the conversions. That is different story. But majority of the data you get it from different sources is what kind of data? String data. That is one thing. Most of the time these values are initialized directly. We do a static initialization. What initialization? We don't go for dynamic initializations most of the time. Okay, I'll just talk about a small scenario now. Is this point clear before going to discuss that point? Are you clear now? Yes or no? Right. So now suppose I take a couple of strings now. Let me say A equal to ABC. Okay. A equal to ABC. Then what I am doing now? The same string, suppose B equal to ABC. C equal to one more new information to you. Have some idea. It's good to you. D equal to ABC. How many strings are there here, gentlemen? How many declarations are there? 4. How many objects are there? No. 4 objects you are seeing in this notepad, right? Now this is a question to you now. If you see, answer whatever you feel like. How many objects are created now? 4 objects or 1 object? Hmm? There are 2 answers for this. One is 4 objects. For each declaration, 1 object. Another answer is only 1 object. 4 is convincing answer. 1 is there is a confusion there. There is a doubt on that. Okay, let's check it. See, easy, right? Now you know how to find ID, right? Now based on ID, you can check whether how many objects are created. If all these 4 objects have same address, means what? Suppose every object has different address. You got the point, right? Yes or no? So let's check it out. So here, say A equal to what, gentlemen? ABC. B equal to ABC. C equal to ABC. D equal to ABC. Now ID of A, how much? This one. ID of B, ID of C, ID of D. I don't need to tell like whether they are different or same now. Yes or no? Tell me now. How many objects are created now? 1 object. Now if you observe, on 1 object 4 references are depending. Yes or no? How many references are depending on 1 object? Suppose if it is not immutable, it's okay. I'll just talk on this. So here, let's take a fresh diagram now. This is ABC. This is my string, okay? And then ABC, okay? Now for this one object, how many references are there? Means that variable which points to that value is called as reference. So this is A, this is B, this is C, this is a D. Assume that this address is 100. Okay, there it might be some lengthy address, integer. I'm just for my convenience, I'm just taking it as 100 now. So now A has 100 and B has a 100 and C has a 100 and D has a 100. Now all these four are pointing to the same object. Will you accept? There is no other choice for us. We have to agree that. Okay, even including me also. Now all of a sudden, what happened? You want to change a value for B. For whom you want to change value? B wants a change. So assume that this wants BBC instead of ABC. I want to reinitialize B with what? BBC. Now who wants change? Only B. Does A needs change? No. B needs change? Sorry, C needs change? No. D needs change? No. Are you following this or not? Only B needs to have change. Suppose if it is mutable. Mutable means it can be changed. No new object is created if you try to modify. Then because of change for B, this whole objects get modified. Means ABC becomes what? BBC. But actually who needs that change? Now all the other three references are getting impacted, right? Sir, now you should get you have answer now. If it is not immutable, the other references doesn't need a change. But as you are modifying this B, the change in B is impacting all other references, which is not legal to allow. Got it right? Yes or no? Suppose 4 people are there in one team. One person want to change company. Let him change. If it is going means everybody should change company or what? Not allowed, right? Same thing. Got it right? That's why making immutability there will be a data consistency here. This is a concept of what? You are making data consistent to the changes when you make changes to the some variables. Got it right? So the advantage of immutability now. So friends, please mute your machine. Understood? So what is the advantage of this now? If you make a string immutable, this is a string literals, usually applicable for what? Literals. If you make a string as a immutable object, change in one reference doesn't impact other references, so that your data is intact. It is not getting modified continuously. Suppose if B wants change, it got modified. C wants change, it got modified. D wants change, it got modified. Then what happens? You are losing that data consistency. That is what you have to take care in coding or in real programming. Got it right? So immutability, make sure your data is protected. And most of the time your string data is more like constant only. Got it right? Suppose you talk about city name. Once you give city name doesn't need to be modified frequently in the project. Country names need not to be modified frequently. So the string data most of the time will be same. So that's why making it as a literal is also useful to us. All of you got clarity now? So the advantage is this. Making immutable means it maintains data consistency. Clear now? So maybe if you ask me, sir, suppose I need frequent changes, what should I do? Nothing to worry. You can make it change, but you don't need too many changes, right, for the same variable. Yes, sir. No. Right. So that's idea about what there are today. The same concept is applicable for all data types in Python. You talk about int, same is applicable. You talk about the float, same is applicable. You talk about complex, same is applicable. You understand? All these basic data types in Python are what is that, gentlemen? Are mutable. Sorry, immutable. Wake up. All are immutable, not mutable. Sorry, if I use the word mutable means, please correct it. It is immutable. Okay, so 1 minute, guys. So now, are you good with this now? Right. You can check for even other values. Suppose you say a equal to 10. What is this? B equal to 10, C equal to 10, D equal to 10. Okay, ID of A. How much is that? ID of B. Can you see this, sir? Now you see here. Okay, ID of A, ID of B, same or not? ID of C, ID of D. We'll talk more on this. Okay, but for now you got clarity on immutability topic, right? What is immutability? Is it clear for all of you or not? Okay, let's move to the next topic. This is one very important discussion we need to understand. Okay. And methods of string class. Let's switch to the next topic. Methods of string class. So what methods do we have here? Let's talk about this. Length function. Length, you know, we had discussed. Lower. These are all very straightforward. Hardly we can finish it within 5 to 10 minutes. What lower function does? Converts a string to lowercase. It might be mixed or it might be uppercase. Converts to lowercase. You can just test it quickly. You have machines in front of you, right? Test it once. Okay. Next one. Upper. What upper does? I'll just show one example. You can try for all this. Okay. Because it's not that difficult to understand. Okay. So here you take a string like you say s equal to. What shall we do? Shall I take uppercase string now? I take Mano here. Okay. And then there are two ways of using functions. I taught you, right? One way is saying something like this. Just observe carefully here. Up lower of s. You might be trying this. You get an error. When you try like this, what happens? You get an error. What it's saying? Lower is not defined. If you go and check API from any website or official Python community sites, lower function will be there. Means something is wrong here. If it is part of string API, which API? String API, application programming interface, means all built in that information is with API. Then you should not call this like this functions. You have to say s dot lower. How to call it? S dot lower. Apply. Enter. Convert it lowercase. Sometimes when you say s dot lower, of course this is a default function. What function? Default. No parameters is necessary. But for some functions you need to pass parameters. Then how do I know that, sir? See, everything you understand things with experience and practice on. And day one we might not understand, but when you keep doing it, you automatically you get an idea. You got it right? That's the point. So now you can try for remaining. So you got an idea, right? String gets converted to lower or not? So what I do is I'm taking one more. Upper you can try it. Swap case. Swap case means, sir? Swap case means, sir? If you have a mixed case in a string, it becomes vice versa. Lower becomes upper, upper becomes lower. And that's what we call, what do you call it as a swap case. Understood or not? But count is important function, folks, again. Count. We are going to do a small program now. Be ready with count. So what is this count? It returns the count of occurrences of a string. Now see, when I say count, many people thinks it will return number of characters. Length already is there. For returning length function is there. Again, you don't need count. When you are having same function again means some functionality changes. What is this count? Very useful function, sir. It will give you the occurrences of a string or a character. You got the point? I'll just show you like how it gives occurrences. Suppose you take a string, sir. Okay. Take a string like add some AB. Okay. Like this AB, 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 BC, BC, BC. Okay. CD, CD, something like that. Just now you see, this is my string. I didn't start literal this string here. Okay, fine. Now, what I need, I want number of occurrences of AB. How many times AB is recurring? So AB is at least there for how many times? Many times. Instead of counting, I just use what is that? S dot count of in quotes, because string has to be either in single quote or double quote or triple quote. How many times AB is recurring? If you have a doubt, you can manually check and conclude. Are you following this, folks? What count is giving me? It is giving number of occurrences of a substring in a given string. Are you following this or not? So this is how count works. Tomorrow, when you are working in some technology like big data or something, they will say one small program in the very beginning. People teach you word count. For word count, some built-in process is there. Some built-in functions are there in that. But you can write a program for that to count number of words yourself. Customized code you can write it. I'll give small requirement. What you do is using this count function. It's easy to find count with count function. Using count function. Already you have idea about strings, right? Using count function, what I need is you should find how many times a word is recurring in that. Got it right? Of course, I think there is some time. If I give that requirement, you should have idea about at least a collection also. I'll make you to work on this word count once we get some idea about those fundamentals. It's too early anyhow. But are you clear with this now? Fine. Remember, we will apply this. We need to apply. Next one after this. Count is done. Find. Find and index functions are a bit same with some changes. What find will do? It find the index of a string. Suppose you pass any string here. Okay, suppose I'll just take like this, not like exactly with R3. The easiest way is this. You can test it, sir, now. You can test it. in your machines. Already you have opened your laptops, right? What you do? Test it. How do you test it? Take a string and just say, already I have, no, AB is there, that string is there. Then I say S dot find of, okay. I'm just taking D here. I want the index of D. What is that showing me? 19. Is it correct? 19 might be correct because it's a very lengthy string. D is at the end of that string, probably. But it is returning index. I have how many D's in this string? Is this AB, a cab AB something? How many D's are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it is giving 19. 19 is for which D? First occurrence. Which occurrence? Immediately one of you might ask me, sir, I want occurrence of second one. When you know the occurrence of first one, you can do one thing. Comma, tell to your find function, search after 19th index. Which index? Search after which index? 19th index. Let's see now. Okay, give search after 19 as actually that one. 20th index. After 20th index, D is available where? 21. You can see there is an option here. Suppose if you want second occurrence, first know first occurrence, based on that go to second occurrence. You got it right? Yes or no? You can apply same for remaining values also. Okay. I assume you are good with this. Next one. There is a function like this again, index. Okay. Index of what? You can take something C. You can this time you can try C. Okay. Index of C. First occurrence. If you want second occurrence, comma, give 5. After that, C is coming at which index? You can check manually. You can count and verify whether these are your system is returning correct or not. 13. In this way, you can get index of okay any character. But how you have a process? First, you should know first occurrence. By getting, suppose I have D recurring for 100 times. If you ask me, I want something 60th one, sir. How do you get it? Means, sir, before that you should know which one? 59th one. You got it right. So you have to understand a logic for that. You have to think a logic for that. How you can get it. Understood?
Is not able to find it is written in -1.
Yeah. I am coming. I told you. Index and find are same, but with some small change. Suppose I give a string E. What my substring is E. What is it saying? When I pass E to index, is E there in my string? Yes. Then what do you get here? Read there. Read this. Value error. What I am getting? Value error. Suppose you try the same for find function. What it is giving? -1. That is difference between find and index. Understood? So if you use index, it returns error. If you use find, it returns a -1. Which one is recommended? Use find or index. Generally, don't prefer a function which throws exception. Understood or not? Got it right? Because sometimes what happens is you have to again go for exception handling. Find is much more reliable than index. Of course, performance wise, again, there will be some differences. Internally, how it is searching, how it is extracting, how the algorithm is applied in that. That is also there. But at our level, we don't need to worry about performance here. See how to use it. Got it right? So, next one. Now you got some idea, right? L strip means left strip. Remove spaces in a string from the left part, from the beginning of left. You have here Mano. There is a space here in the beginning, right? That is removed if you apply L strip. Left strip means remove the space at the beginning of a string at left side. R strip means remove the space at the ending of a string at right side. And strip means there is one more. What is that? I think we didn't have that here. And one more function is, what is that? Strip function. S dot strip. What strip does? Remove spaces on both sides at the start of string and end of string. If you are doubtful, then we can check it out. S dot. Suppose you take S equal to something like Manu, and I'm just saying S dot strip. You can see there. Suppose if I don't use strip, still you have that space there. See the output between first and second. You have two outputs. You see the difference. Okay, I'll just do one thing. S dot system of let me clear it. See there, my string has spaces at start and at end, at the beginning and at the ending. When I say strip, it is not. It is removing spaces and returning it. Suppose print your original string. Your original string has spaces at the beginning and ending, right? Might be you can ask me, sir, then you have already applied. What is the use of applying strip, sir? When you apply strip function, that result has to be initialized to some other variable, or at least you have to preserve with the same variable. Got it, right? You can do like this: s equal to s dot strip. Without that, you cannot make change. No, see, modified or not. Either you have to reinitialize to the same variable or initialize to another variable. The result has to be preserved somewhere. If you just apply function, it will return result, but it is not preserving. Are you following this or not? Okay. That's idea about what strips, all strips, R strip, right? L strip and strip. Next one. These are all very simple functions. Is a alphanumeric. Suppose you have a string and you are checking whether it is a alphanumeric string or not. Means it has both alphabets and numbers. Excuse me, can I have that water, please? Okay, are you following, guys? Following? So what is this? Is all num checks whether your string is a alphanumeric. Next one. You test it, sir. Already I have shown you how to apply functions. And these are simple functions, straightforward. Take a string like this, just test it. Because these are already tested and copied to this notepad. Is alpha means checks only whether it is a character string or not. Character in sense you have alphabets in that, only character means. Then is alpha is fine. Then is digit. Check whether it is digit or not, whether string has all digits. This kind of comparison also helps us in coding. Because you have a file, you are extracting data from the file. You need to check whether that column is that value coming is actually alphanumeric, or it is a pure string, or it is a number. then this kind of validation helps us. Next one. These are all very simple functions. You can also create your own API like this. Okay. I can make you to write all these functions by yourself. I am very confident on that. Okay. Is lower, is upper. Is lower in sense, it will check, it will return true. So whenever is used, these just only check whether it is true or false. And these functions just only do validation. These are for data validation. Returns true if it is correct and false if it is not correct. If it is not satisfying condition. Is lower means if your string is lowercase, it returns true. Not if it is not lowercase, it returns false. Is upper is also same. Is your string is a space, whether it is empty, then you can use this function. Are you following or not? So these are all different functions. Still we have few more functions. You can test all that. You can from the API or from any other website, you can try all that. This is more than enough to understand how string functions works. And we have covered all the important core functions. Next again, these are all functions which are part of string, which is inside string. So we have to call it that reference dot function name. Or for some people you might assume it as object dot function. Okay, next. These are all general purpose, again normal functions, regular functions. Max and min are what? They are not inside string. They are actually the generic functions. What functions? Means they are applicable not only for string. We can apply this all even on collections also. Suppose you go to list, you can apply max and min there. You go to tuple, you can apply max and min. Understood? So these are all generic functions. They are not inside string, but they are applied on string. You got it right there? These are not part of string API. If it is part of string API, how to call them? That reference dot function name. Reference can be anything. If it is S, it is S. If it is A, it is A. No problem. Are you following this? Next one. Finish this too. What max and min returns now? If you look at the output, it's very simple. Returns the max of S means it is giving me V. Why V?
Alphabetically most.
Exactly. So this is having highest Unicode. What it is having? V has highest Unicode. Right? Alphabets has Unicodes. Even every character in your keyboard has Unicode encoding or ASCII. Earlier Python used to use ASCII, but now even Python community has modified it to Unicode. To 2x I hope 2.x it was using ASCII, but from 3.x I hope they were using Unicode. Unicode in sense it's like this. ASCII means for character it uses 1 byte or 8-bit representation. Unicode means it uses 16-bit representation or 2 bytes for any character. For each character it will allocate 2 bytes. Got it right? Okay, so now see if you say min of S, what it returns? What is the minimum letter here? K. Because the Unicode, ASCII and Unicodes are almost same here, up to 256. So here the value of A is 97. Value of B is 98, 99. It keeps incrementing like that. So A is the smallest. It is returning that. Okay. Next one. Now you have seen length, min, max. Okay. These are all what kind of functions? Generic functions. Next one more very important function on in string, split function. What is it? Split. Very useful function. You need to use it number of times in coding. Suppose tomorrow you are working on data science. Most of the time you have to split your data. Even in big data also you have to do splitting of data. You'll have a very lengthy string, or you get a file and you read a line from the file and you have to apply split on that. Understood or not? No. And do some analysis. Analysis in sense, suppose you have a data, text file is there. Small example, how do we perform analysis? If you see, I want to know how many, suppose the recurring in a, suppose I have a text file with like with 1 crore words. How many words, sir? How Google people will apply a small algorithm? Most searched people, celebrities, that is one algorithm. Suppose you see Shah Rukh Khan, then Mahesh Babu, Pawan Kalyan. So people keep searching all these names, right? They extract all that searches. Whenever you do a search in Google, they will store every search into some database. Then what they do is, while processing, they will use this token Mahesh Babu and see how many times it is recurring in that database. Based on that, they will, what is that, decide, okay, this guy is most searched celebrity. Tom Cruise, you talk about Tom Cruise, Tom Cruise, right? Or Jackman, whomever it is. But this is how analysis works. Now I need to find this search instance. The split is going to help you in a number of ways. So whenever I insist on some function, means definitely it has a huge usage in the real time. Understood, right? Because we keep seeing all this in our coding. Okay. So how split works? Let's take a small example for now. I'm going to make you to work better use cases, bigger use cases with all these combinations. Maybe if you think, if you doubt it, just wait for some time. All your doubts will be cleared off. So first thing, split. How split works? It's very simple. The syntax is this. This is also inside string. It is part of string API. You have to pass a delimiter for split. By what you should split. Suppose this is my string, and it has all separated with what? Spaces. And space is delimiter. What is delimiter? Space is delimiter, sir. Are you following or not? Okay. Next, let's check it. Small example now. I'm taking a string here. What is that? Bitty bought a. I'm taking Bitty bought a bitter butter. Okay. This is my string. What I want to do now? Split. If I should split, there should be some common separator for every word, between every word. Then only it's possible. And if you don't have that, then splitting is not applicable. First thing, that is very important. Then how do you split it? You have to split by what? Space. So it's very simple. S dot split of what? Delimiter. Here inside the split function, pass your delimiter. We will see some 3 to 4 styles of doing this split. So now enter. And if you see, it is returning this string is split into tokens, and those tokens are returned to what? If you see here, it is a list here where all these tokens are stored. They are stored in a list. If you observe carefully that brackets, it's a list. Soon you are going to understand about list. Nothing to worry. Are you following this? So now I want to iterate it. I want to iterate token by token. What can I do now? Which is the best choice for us? For is best choice, right? Yesterday we have done a lot of coding on that. Which is our best choice here? But before you apply for, should we preserve this result or not? What do? I say that some token equal to s dot split of what? Space. That TOK is a list here. Now apply for on list, this one. For, okay, I in TOK or for W, because everything is a word, right? Token. That is my list, token list. Then what should I print now? Print off. Now I got, what did I get? Did I get token by token or not? Suppose you directly print S, will you get it? Am I getting word by word? No. But is it possible for me to do this by applying split or not? Following? So that's the idea about what, folks? Split. That is one case. Second case. Suppose my delimiter is are you following this or not? Suppose my delimiter is comma. What is it? It's a comma. Bitty bought a something like this. Then how do I apply split here? How to apply split, dear Kamal?
On split S
Token equal to S dot.
split.
This time what should I use here? In the quotes, use double quote. In that use a comma. That string has to be there. That delimiter you should specify that in double quote. Either space or either comma. Space is also a character in programming. Which is character? Space. Now enter. Now again print your token. But this time, is there a difference between first one and second one, right? Yes or no? In the first string, delimiter is space. The second string, delimiter is a comma. Based on delimiter, the separator, based on the separator in the string, you have to pass that specific one to the split function. Understood? Separator is comma, pass comma to split function. Separator is hash, pass hash to split function. Separator is space, pass a space to split function. Understood? Separator is dollar, pass dollar to split function. Got it right? Your string can be split in different ways. The delimiter need not to be always space or comma. It might be something else. Don't care about it. Just pass the delimiter as a value to split function, parameter to split, enough. Clear, right? That's all, folks. This is the idea about the split. I think we have almost finished discussing which one? String. But still there are few more important observations are there. We have to first follow that.
Delimiter can be a string also, like one word in the sentence.
Not possible.
Only
It has to be some special character. Understood? If you have that, it leads to confusion. Understood? So that's why what is that? Usually delimiters will be some kind of special characters, not like words or characters. Okay, there is a possibility of again an inconsistent operation might happen if that is the case. I don't say it's not possible. Yes, you can keep as a something like S as a delimiter, but it is not recommended. Understood? Some character you can keep as a delimiter, but usually when you are trying to declare strings, that S might repeat in a word also. then instead of splitting where you want, it will split the word also. Then the whole meaning changes. You don't get consistent outputs, results. So that is the disadvantage. But still, if you want, that's up to you. Okay, next one. But as far as my experience is considered and what I have observed is I didn't see any word as a or a character as a delimiter. So far, I didn't see that. Always it will be space or comma most of the time. Understood, right? So that's it. Next one. Other important operators are some keywords which we apply on string here. Are you ready for this now? Okay. Asterisk. What is asterisk? What is asterisk, sir? Asterisk creates a, it gives number of occurrences. When you say asterisk, it's for repetition. Okay, we'll see with an example. Suppose you see this how asterisk works. Suppose S equal to some ABC. Okay. ABC or S asterisk. Let me try like this first. Can you see that? When I say S asterisk 3, how many times it is recurring? Can you see that? If you want to if you want to have a recursive string, if you want to have a string for multiple times, okay, how can I get that? Asterisk. Asterisk gives you, suppose you specify it as 3, it gives multiple occurrences. 4, it will repeat the same string for 4 times. 5, so that is what asterisk is. Asterisk repeatedly returns a string, depends on the width specified. Understood now? Next one. I if possible, please just okay. Next one after that. Are you good with asterisk? What is asterisk now? Creates a new string. Concatenate multiple copies of same string. Got it right? Any questions? Are you clear or not? Next one. What is this? What is this, sir? If you apply index operator, what it does? It returns the index of the string. When you apply, sorry, it returns the character of the given index. We have tested yesterday. Did we test yesterday or not? Yes. I am not showing an example for this because we have tried all this. Next, this one. What is this, sir? Slice. What slice does? Yesterday we have done a lot of slicing, right? Did we slice yesterday? Yes, right. Do you want some break or what? Today I think I am trying to teach more and more because this is more of a discussion is necessary for these things. This is a conceptual discussion, right? When there is a program, then you have some relief there. But for today, we have to talk more on this conceptual part. Are you clear so far on whatever we have discussed till now? Are you fine, right? You want some break or what? Tea break, coffee break, water break. But I don't give any other breaks, okay? Don't expect other breaks. Okay, fine. Those who are at home, for you tea will be in front of your desk only. I don't think you need a special breaks, okay? So this is slice clear, right? Should I talk about it now? Already you know it. So I am not going to talk about it. What is in and not in? Very useful function, very useful operators. These are called membership operators. What operators, sir? In and not in are called what? Membership. Remember, not just applicable only on string, sir. It is not just applicable only on string. Dear friend, you are giving us music, okay? Please mute your machine. So these are very useful, sir, for searching your data. If you observe carefully Python, all these things, if you if you remember or if you are carefully watching them, whatever we are learning, these are very much useful in the analysis of data if you observe carefully. Understood? Right. So next one. Let's see small example within how in works. What is this in? Nothing. It checks whether a character exists within a given string or a substring exists within a given string. Not just character, substring. Not in means opposite to in. Checks whether a character or a substring doesn't exist. If that string is not there, do something. If that string is there, do something like that. And here again, you have to apply that with what? With your if. Generally, it is used to check with if. Okay, let's see a small example. Okay, take a small example. Shall I take a small string now? Tell me one string of your choice. So far, I took my string today. Any strings? Tell me one simple string. Nobody is getting any.
Naturals.
Huh?
Naturals.
Naturals. Okay. Will you go to naturals regularly? Okay. Okay. S equal to naturals. Now I want to check whether some character exists inside that or not. Shall we? Okay. S in. I'm sorry. N in. This is a substring. Even one character in Python is also a string. You go and check the documentation, community documentation. Everything is string. Every character in Python is a string. So now n in S, what happens? True or false? Tell me now.
False.
Okay, I'll ask few questions. N in S, true or false?
False.
Are you sure? Okay. Then now you understand. Small n in S is false. Capital N? Got it? Not like that. Even if you can check for the whole substring also. Suppose there is a string like give me your favorite hero name. Okay, Prabhas Raju I'll give. Okay, just for analysis purpose. Prabhas Raju. Now I want to search for Raju here. Substring, right? So what do I do right now? Raju. That case also has to match. What should match here? Python is case sensitive, right? Case sensitive means any small change in lower case or upper case makes some difference. So Raju in S, true or false? Raju not in S. Sir, these are all small things. Kamal will answer perfectly. No doubt about it. What, Kamal? Next one. What else? Are you clear with membership now? What is membership? As name says, whether something is part of a collection or that data structure. That is only right. Membership operator means whether you are a member of this class, that is membership. In and not in. But these are very useful operators, sir. Remember. And is not identity operators. What operators, sir? Identity. So if you look at this, is not. Identity means whether two objects are same or not. Okay, let us see a small example. Is and is not. Sir, are you following or not? So next one. A equal to 10. As we are in strings, let me take a string only. A equal to some 10. Numeric string. Okay. B equal to some 10. You tell me whether both of these share same address or different addresses. How? Idea of A. Idea of B. A is B. True or false? If both are pointing to the same reference, then it returns what, sir? If both are pointing to the same reference, it returns a true. What is your answer? True or false? True. A is not B. Will you agree? Will you agree? Both have same address, right? Now you got an idea? These are difficult, right? Very difficult operators. Hmm? What do you say? No. Okay, that's good. Mr. Kamal, got it? Okay. We have a small kid here from 8th class. That's why I'm calling him frequently. Don't take me wrong. No, I'm just making you popular. You are a
Kamala is the popularity or
okay, that's fine. Anyhow, you are a celebrity here for us. Okay. Okay, let's get to the next topic. Are you good now? Is it clear for all of you? Next one. We're almost at the end of string. Sir, if you want to learn everything clearly, you need to have patience. So that's why many people don't have patience here. I'm not talking about who are listening to this session. Those who started attending from beginning itself. But the point is they don't understand what they were missing now. Definitely I know what I am teaching, but someone who is missing these sessions. Okay. Next one. Format specifiers. This is actually a C style bit. If you want a bit of C style of coding, then you can use this format specifiers. Most of the students hate this format specifiers, but there is nothing to hate it if you understand everything is simple. Understood? So now let's start it. For every data type, for every data, there is a format specifier built in form. These are all built in, sir. We are not doing anything. They are not our creation, our invention or otherwise. Our Guido has given all this. Our job is just understand what data, what format specifier. Suppose if I say Pawan Kalyan, whom do you remember? Your mind has flashed some person in mind right now. Whom you are reminding? Obviously some person with 5'6" or 5'7" height. Okay. Yes or no? That is a data. When I say name, then that format specifier is the actual person. Assume that. Understood now? When you have a data, every data has a format specifier. They are fixed actually. People has Guido one resume. Maybe you might think, who is this guy? He is our actually Python creator, the god of Python. So for character, we should use %C. This is there in C also, sir. It is not like just we have this in where? Python. These are coming from C. Because C is introduced in 1980s itself, right? I don't exactly remember the year now. But it was introduced in 1980 or some 76. 82 or something. So this came from C only. Even Python, all languages follow C format only. Even Python also, but much more simplified. Per character, what is the format specifier? You remember, sir? You know character, right? For string, what is format specifier? There is a small difference here, sir. You told everything is string in Python. Then what about this? Again, you are talking character and string here. Suppose if you want that to be a single character, suppose I just want to extract a single character and show it as a character, then you have to apply what? Percentile C. We'll see a small example, you get some idea. Nothing to worry. No need to confuse. For string, what is this? For signed decimal. What do you mean by signed and unsigned? Signed means all positive and negative. Unsigned means only positive. Are we signed or unsigned as a human? We are, all of us are signed only. We are not unsigned because we have positives and negatives. If you are unsigned, you don't be sitting here. You will be in Himalayas. I'm just joking, okay? Clear now? You got clarity now? For data also, there is a, see, when you assign some value, not about string data. Usually, character type of data will be unsigned. For numeric, you talk about integer, you talk about decimal. What is the point? Signed means it will have both positive and negative value. Unsigned, only positive. Okay. Based on that, which one you should use, you choose. For integer, you can choose either percentile I or percentile D. Choose one. For no, for signed actually. For unsigned, use percentile U. Next one. I think we didn't discuss this topic. Octal, hexadecimal, binary. Did we discuss that? We'll do in next session. Okay. I'll talk about number system types quickly for it will take 20 minutes to half an hour. If you wish, you want to know, I'll discuss. Anyhow, sir, it's fine. We will skip it means we'll skip. That's your choice, not my choice. Anyhow, next week we'll plan this. Okay. Octal integer. It has octal means it has a prefix as a O or 0. Sorry, it starts with the octal. Yeah, O only. Clear, right? Not 0. O. Hexadecimal has a prefix small x or capital X. And it has percentile, same percentile X or percentile this one. Next week you get a perfect idea about octal and hexa and binary, nothing to worry. And how we can use it in Python. For decimals you have a format specifier. What is that, gentlemen? Percentile F. The easiest way to remember all format specifiers is a tip. Like how, for me I remember like this. Most of format specifiers has this character as starting letter of this data. Character C, string is integer I, yes or no? Unsigned integer U, okay. And then octal O. For most, I am saying most of the format specifiers, starting letter of your data is nothing but it becomes a format specifier. Floating point F. These two are exponential in scientific notations. Have you ever came across scientific notations, sir? 10e minus 10, 10e plus 10. You remember, right? You might be, you have learned it in physics, that is one area. Second thing, in C or C++, in the beginning when you talk about ranges of this float and decimal, so that is float and double data types, you have these exponential notations. But for now, you can just observe it, leave it there now. If it is necessary, I will discuss. Okay, next one. This is idea about what format specifiers. Then how to apply that in a, where do you apply this? This we apply in while printing. we apply with what? Print statements. Got it right? The advantage of using format specifier is you can explicitly identify what data you are using. Yes or no? When I mention format specifier, based on that I can identify, okay, this is string data, this is int data, this is float data, this is double data. Readability increases. What increases? Readability. That it's up to you again. Python doesn't demand format specifiers. But if you need it, then that is there in Python also. Understood, no? I'm saying it doesn't demand in sense, I am not saying it is not there, it is there, but it depends on requirement. It's very rare that we use format specifiers. Okay, clear now? So let us see this now. Shall we test a small example? How to apply format specifiers? You need to try example. First you should know how to apply it, right? Syntax. How is that? Generally format specifiers are applied with the print statement. Okay, let's see this now. What do you have to pass? You have to pass format specifiers, comma, no comma, sorry. Instead of comma, you have to use a percentile, and then in brackets you pass your list of variables. This order has to match with the order of your format specifiers. Order of variables has to match with order of a format specifier, or vice versa. Order of format specifier should match with order of a variables. Okay. Suppose I have a string data into data float data. Suppose like this. S equal to ABC. Okay. Some, otherwise name equal to ABC. And then age equal to some 30. And then salary equal to some 2000. Like this I give. Okay. Now I want to print it. How to print all this? Simple, right? I should print it with format specifiers. Can't we print without format specifiers? Yes or no? We will test both. Okay, we will test both now. Now, so those who are online, you also, keep testing parallelly. Please test with me. So you can just take these three variables. Okay, now without using format specifier, how can we print it? We can in print we can use comma. The separator is there. Comma is the only separator allowed. Not you don't put okay, what is that, hash or something, and don't try that. So print of what? Name, comma, age, comma, sal. One way. Let's print it. Okay, another way. What is that another way? I want to make it more readable. Then I can say, I can also add like this. Name, comma, this one. Then age, comma, like this. And then sal, comma, like this. Of course, what is happening here? It is trying to pull all that to the all values at right side and variables at left side. I'll do one thing. Then what should I do then? I will split it into next line. How do I split it into the next line? Just apply what? Or use AND statement. What statement? There is actually the functionality, internal functionality is a bit different here. That we can analyze. Don't worry about what is that. New line, comma. Let me just print this now. It's giving me invalid syntax. Yes. This time, you got it right. Can you see this now? This time, can you see it? It is more readable output, right? So here, again apply escape sequence, comma. Can you see this now? Perfect, right? This is style 2, where you can add some text indication, and then also you can apply some escape sequence and format it beautifully. See, this is all your, adding pepper and salt, decoration kind of thing. Okay. Next one. Suppose I want to know the data. But right now, what is that? I know that name is string and age is 30 and sal is age is integer and sal is a decimal. I want to print it with format specifier. How can I print it? First of all, what? For string, what is the format specifier? Percentile S, then percentile D, then percentile F. Close this and then apply a separator is percentile, put a bracket, and then what is my first variable? Name comma age comma sal. Perfect. Close braces set and then enter. Don't worry about that asterisk. I can remove it. Understood now? Name is ABC, age is 30, sal is 2000. Okay? Are you getting this or not? Suppose you want to add indicators. What do you want to add? Indicator. Indicator means exactly you want to see after name your value, after age your value, after salary. How do you add it here? You can add like this. What is that? Name equal to, then comma. You don't need commas. Sal equal to, then age equal. Will this work? Yes or no? All these are inside a double quote string. Yes or no? Double quote or single quote, anything is fine. Is it working now? Yes or no? Which is easy to format, the first style or the second style? You are observing two styles of printing. Which style is much more easy for us? Understood now? When you use format specifiers, no, formatting data become easy for us. Yes or no? But it's up to you. Which one you want to choose is your choice. Because when you work on a project, okay. So how to format and how to which print you should use, it's a developer choice. And I am trying to bring exposure for all different styles of working with print. Okay. Still there are some flags to discuss. We'll talk on that also. Start is there, end is there, and few more are there. Are you good now? Got clarity? How format specifiers helps us? Definitely, when you use format specifiers, the way we format data will become much more better. Clear now? Right. So next after this. So we are almost done with, these are all escape sequences again to format your data. Most used escape sequences are /n and /t. At least we have 8 to 10 escape sequences, but not every escape sequence is popular. But in developer community, definitely /n and /t has some reservations. Got it right? Excuse me. Are you good now? Everybody's clear? All of you. Kamal, are you clear?
Last man allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Last man allowed.
Okay, fine. No issues. These are all fine. These are all again repetitive examples. The last one. Two more topics are there in string now. One is a flower bracers and a format function. The second one is join function. Once we finish this, we are done with the string API and then string operators and then how we can format strings. Got it right? We had finished all different things about string. Clear now? Again, this is also formatting only. You use format specifiers or you use this different ways. But there is one thing which you need to know here. We didn't talk about plus operator, right? Earlier, we had discussed about many things in operators here. You see here carefully. But we didn't keep here plus concatenation operator. What operator? Another important thing you need to learn in Python is how to concatenate strings, how to combine strings. Yes or no? One of the very important scenario. Let's just try that. This is the small example. Otherwise, first let's understand concatenation. Then we'll talk about formatting. Plus is used for concatenation. One way. Suppose you see here. Okay. You see here. I'm taking two strings s1 equal to, or we can take combine both strings in one go also. It's up to us. One string is okay, some ABC. Second string is XYZ. Okay, and I'm saying, I'm sorry, S2 equal to, you know what happens if I give like that. So S1 plus S2, what happens now? Concatenated, combined or not? S1 plus S1? Got it right? What plus is doing here? You can also do direct concatenation. Suppose 1 plus 2. Possible or not? You can apply on string literals directly. We can apply on literal variables. This plus is applied on literal variables. One more. Are you good now? Got clarity about plus, right? What plus does? In Python, plus is used only for string concatenation. What concatenation? Suppose you go to Java, C# and some other languages. Plus can be used to concatenate string with other data also. But we'll see a small example here. No? Suppose I take s equal to 1 plus 1. What I am doing in this third statement? I am trying to concatenate integer with string. In other languages this will work, where it will work in Java, it will work in C#. But here, what happens? Will it work? What it's saying there? If you see very clearly, you got type error. That is one thing. Second thing is read the statement. Can only concatenate string to string, str to str. Can you read it? What it's saying here? Means you cannot apply concatenation of int to string directly with plus. Then what is the possible options now? You can apply casting to int. Yes or no? Can I do it now? Right? Can I convert integer to string or not? How do I do it? Tell me, correct this statement now. How do I correct it now? If you want to concatenate a numeric data type with the string, convert that numeric data type to string type. How do you do that? We learned it, right? So which function should I apply? Conversion function. This is actually a constructor of string. What is it? A string constructor. When you pass a value to a string constructor, that data is converted to string itself. Maybe you can remember as conversion functions, or actually we call this as a constructor. What do you call this? A constructor. Will you understand better when we go to OOP, object oriented programming. Okay. print s. No? Any error? No. After applying casting, after applying concatenation, any error? No error. Got some idea? That's the idea about how to concatenate a string in Python. Can we directly concatenate a numeric data with a string in Python? No. Not possible. We have to apply what? We have to apply concatenation. Okay. Next one. Now, other way of formatting string here. Are you good now? String formatting with braces and operators. Now, just now we came to know this. What is that? As we learned in Python variable chapter, or just now, we cannot combine strings and numbers like this. Like how? My name is John, I am plus age. Can you see here? No? Do you think this is legal? Just now we had discussed. This is legal or illegal? 100 or 200% is illegal. Sir, are you following or not? Out of coverage area. Meditating. No, all of you are fine, right? So now, that's why before we start this topic, I had given a clear understanding of what if we try to combine a numeric data with a string. We concluded we cannot directly do that. That's possible only by converting that now numeric data to string type. Not just numeric, even I think complex also. Even if you add complex also, you should get an error. You can check it, sir. Not a big. It's not something difficult. Okay. So then, what is the solution? One solution right now we have found out. What is that? Apply. Apply what, sir? Apply casting, sir. Other solution? Use which function? It's clearly saying. You see these ads, right? In between a movie or something, you get ads. Like that. Right now we understood. If you can't combine number to integer string, number to string, then use what? Format. Got it right? Which function should we use, sir? Format method or a function. How do we use it? It's very simple, sir. How do we use it? Format takes like we have just applied format specifiers, right? Like that format function also has some kind of little bit similarities there. It takes arguments, it takes parameters. Parameters means which you pass to a function, like you pass to count function, you pass to print of name, comma. So these are all parameters, sir. When you pass something in the brackets of that function, you call them as what? What do you call them as? Parameters or arguments. So it takes the arguments, formats them, places them in the string where the placeholder. These are all. We can also call this as placeholder also. Not only in Python, you go to any language. Whenever you find opening and closing braces, this can be called as placeholders. Even when you are working with shell script in our projects, we keep placeholders. To substitute some data into that placeholder. You got the point, right? So that is how it works. These braces are placeholders. What are these? These are placeholders. Now, how this works, let us see. A small example. Whenever we are using these placeholders, along with that, we have to use which function? Format functions. Now you see, same example. We continue this concatenation example. Earlier, when I concatenate, my name is John and I plus age, we got an error. Yes or no? Yes or no, sir? But this time, intelligently we placed one placeholder. Do we get any error? This time what did I do? remember, whenever we are using this format method, prior to that we apply format, you have to choose placeholders. What do you have to choose? In place of that placeholders, you will substitute your numeric data. What data? Numeric data. You don't substitute. That method takes care of substituting. You pass values to that method. Which method? Format method. If you pass it to format method will take care of substituting data to this placeholder. Okay, I will slowly explain, don't worry. Now what we are doing here, my name is John and I am a placeholder. Here what I need, I should substitute what data, string data or number data? Number. If I concatenate directly, I got error. So I have done conversion one way. Second way, using format. Here, I just keep a placeholder for integer value. If you just keep it like this, your print function or your interpreter doesn't know that it should pass value. Who knows that? Format. Now you call that format function on string. This is also part of string API. This format is also part of which API, folks? To that format function, pass whatever the value you want to put it into the placeholder. Now on top of this text, I am calling format. To that I am passing my age. As here I just have only one placeholder, this age is blindly substituted into that one placeholder. Now let us test it. Shall we test it now? Yes sir, no. I will type so that it's easy for you to follow. We can copy and paste, but let me type it. Now you see, what do you do right now? Take one string equal to, tell me one string. So sorry, age, you take directly age equal to some, okay, 37, text equal to, okay, I'm just writing like this. My name is Manohar, comma, I am braces, okay, and your quotes over. So in place of that placeholder, I want to substitute age. What should I do now? Of course, age is given as a string. Change it to what? Age to integer. Change it to what? Integer. Now text dot format of what? Age. Are you following this? Now what happens? Now what happens, sir? Age gets substituted into placeholder. Yes, your answer is correct one. I understood. String in sense inside the string. That is what you are meaning. Is it correct? Do you think this will work? Are you sure? Okay, press enter. Perfect, right? Got an answer? Got clarity? But with one value it is fine. Suppose if we have 2, 3, 4. I have 2, 3, 4 or 5 placeholders. Then what do we do in such cases? Let us just have a quick idea. Okay, do you get this now? Okay, next one. The format method takes unlimited number of arguments. It can take many arguments. Okay, now if you see here, a small example again. Quantity is 3, item number is 567, and price is 49. And just a small example here. My order is this. What is my order? I want okay, some placeholder, pieces of items, some placeholder for placeholder dollars. What should be here first? First one represents number of quantity. Second represents third represents price. Are you following this? And sometimes order won't be like this. The first one might be quantity, the second one might be price, the third one, it changes like that also. We'll talk about it in the third case. There is one more case for you to get quick idea about it. So, what do you do now? Simple. What shall we do? When you have such placeholders, blindly just apply wherever you want to substitute value, apply a placeholder there. Then call format and pass your variables to which one? Format function. Understood now? So you can test it first. You can take all these values first. Test this. Do you think this is difficult to understand? Is it difficult to understand? Okay. Next one. Then this is our string. Okay. And finally, let's call format ourselves. Okay. My order dot format of what should I pass first? If I pass price first, anything happens. But is it correct? You have to follow order, right? So whatever you give in format, it will be substituted in placeholders. You got the point, right? But as a developer, you have to choose which value should go to what placeholder. Understood, right? So item number, comma, next, right. Second one is pieces of item. First one is item quantity, right? So that's what you have to take care of these things. Item number, comma. Third one is price. Press enter. Okay. I want how many pieces? 3 pieces of items. 567 for how many dollars? 49. Okay, something like that. Don't worry about all other stuff. See, our understanding is how to format data. You have a placeholder, how to put a value to that placeholder. And how to use which function? Format. Excuse me. Next one. Another approach. Excuse me, guys. You can use what is that? Indexing for placeholders. So when you have indexing, what is the pointer? Automatically, what it does? It will place values according to what? Indexing. Suppose you see here, I want to pay, what is here now? $2. I give index as 2. For 3 pieces of item, how much? Okay, you might be wondering, what is this 2, what is this 0, what is this 1? So these variable declarations are clear, right? These placeholders are clear. Now this has restructured. My string had been restructured. Now at 2 I want to place a, what is that? Price. At 0 I want to place a, and at 1 I have to place a, what should I place? Item. So you are passing, so it's almost same. You are passing values here, right? In format, the first one has index 0. What is the index of first variable? Yes. Second variable? Third variable? You understand this now? It has an index implicitly. So you can choose that index for ordering. One thing is either take be careful, take care of placing your values without using index. Suppose it's not like that. I have so many values. I have 10 variables, and first one has to be placed at some other, not at the beginning, somewhere in the middle or somewhere at the end. In such cases, this index definitely helps us a lot. Are you following this or not? And by default, whatever you pass inside this format has an index. It starts with 0 for first one, 1 for 2, and 2 for third one. Got it right? That's all. Test it yourself now. There's nothing like too difficult here. This is third style. With which one? With format function. We have seen 3 different styles. Okay. One without index, other one with the index. We are done with the format. Test it now, all of you. What, Mr. Kamal, following? Test it yourself. We have to create one Python online Bible. Understood? Python Bible in sense, if you want any solution, it should be there in our YouTube, or it should be there in our material. Like that, we have to prepare it. Tested, sir, all of you. Next one. Last topic. So after that, you can go for. You can go for what? Break, huh? Yeah. Anyhow, why break? We can go home. You can go for lunch directly. That's why I told you. You want tea break or coffee break, but none of you want that break. Okay. Join. Last one. It's very simple only. So how it works? It takes all the items in an iterable and joins them into one string. What is that? Let's understand with small example. Okay. Let me take the small example. These are all the items in a list. Don't worry about data collection. What are all these, sir? All these are items in a collection. Is it an iterable item or not? What kind of item is this, sir? Iterable. Iterable means on which we can apply some iterator. On string, can we apply iterator? Loops. Collections. On all collections, we can apply iterators. So such objects we call it as iterable items. So I have a integer a equal to 10. Can I apply iterator on that? Not possible. But I can apply iterator on string or any collection or any data structure like this. So what join does now? Join, what it's saying, combines all iterable items into one string. Yes, sir. No. So if you see here, I am using a space and I am using a join. It combines all the strings inside this list with space into one string. Can you see this, sir? I took this iterable object. I am joining with what? Space. And all this converted into string with the space. Can you see this now? Suppose I put comma here for clarity. I put comma. Now, what I am doing now? This join will combine all these iterable items with the comma into how many strings, sir? One string only again. How many strings, sir? Here, if you look into this collection list, here at least the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. We learned this in second class or third class. I don't exactly remember. How many strings are there, sir? How many? Come on, guys. How many are there? 9. That 9 strings we are combining into. What is your delimiter there? Comma. That is what join is. Just read the definition clearly, sir. It has clear meaning. Join method takes all items in an iterable and joins them into. Is it clear or not? If you understand definition clearly, then there is nothing in the syntax. Sometimes in programming, you need to understand syntax. Sometimes you need to be clear with definition. Sometimes you need to be good with both. Clear now? Finally, there is nothing. Leave about the small things, okay? You can directly try for quick brown fox. Test it now. Test it. Use space for one time. Use comma for one time. Use hash for one time. Use dollar for one time. See, automatically when you try for 4 times, without any difficulty, you understand it. Done. Is it finished? What happened? What happened, gentlemen?
I didn't put the square bracket.
Put it. You know, I copied and pasted, right? You have to change this. Maybe think if I am getting error. Why I am getting error? Change this, this one. For you, don't get error. Don't worry, it will work. For me, why error? Yes, I got it from somewhere, some source. It will work, sir. You can test it. Please test it. And here also space. Got it? Suppose in the same one, I'm joining this with what? Comma. All the iterable items are joined with the comma into one string only. Suppose you put hash, sir. Put what here? Put hash. Suppose you put dollar. By now you should get some idea. Yes or no? Still, if you don't get idea, then I can give more information. Understood now? Okay, let's copy and paste it in the material. That's how material keeps updating. It won't be the same. Are you good, sir? Now we have almost discussed all the core concepts of string. one whole session, and yesterday some part of session had gone for strings. Tomorrow we are going to talk about collections. Tomorrow, in sense, not Monday. Don't worry, you don't need to come to session tomorrow. Only we are doing on weekends. Even it's not possible for me on weekdays. Okay, that's about string here. Got some clarity about string now. So today, what we had discussed? Come on.
Then we learned for the different types of signs and then formatting.
And functions. Among all this, you remember count, right? How count works? Let me see whether you are following or not. Based on that, I will decide whether I should continue next week or not. I'm just joking. What is count meant for? What is split function?
Suppose if
Don't try to think too much. Split will split this string, that's all over. Okay. Into tokens or words. What else? What else? What other functions seems to be little interesting for you? Okay, split is something which made me interesting, and count is something interesting for me.
Yeah, strip, right?
Oh, strip made him interesting. Okay, that's good. Strip will remove spaces, right? What else functions made you interesting? Format. Format is a bit interesting function. How bit of indexing there. Okay, and then format specifiers and membership operator should be interesting, right? In and not in, very important, sir. You don't know how useful they are. You will see it in the next session. Is or is not is some we don't frequently use it, but in and not in we frequently use them. What else are interesting in today's session? No, what you find it interesting, not what I am teaching. I'm not talking about that. Okay, this is something really seems to be very interesting. So what else? What about generic functions? Length function is useful. Many times we have to use length function. Reverse, of course, sometimes we do reversing strings, but that is actually infrequent operation, not frequent. Okay. And what else? Copy. We didn't write copy. So 1 minute. Compare. Concatenation. Concatenation is one more thing we have discussed. You got understanding, right? A good understanding of that, right? Okay. So what else you have discussed? What else you have discussed? Join. Join is also good function. Okay. So that's all. So finally, I just forget to check this copy function. S dot copy of some. S is there, right? S equal to some 10. I'm only just cross checking. Okay, this is not there. Because as it is immutable, this copy function might not be available in string. Anyhow, if anything is should be updated, I will update in the next session regarding strings. But we are almost done with strings today. Got it right? Any more questions? Now it's a question time. You have questions, right? Some of you are asking questions today in the middle of session. Now you can ask your questions.
Can we compare two strings?
Happily, yes.
Hello Manohar, can you have a more example on a join function?
Yes. Yes, you can take more examples, sir. What do you want to do there? I'll do one thing. I'll just